Okay, hello there, everybody. DG here. We're just setting up for our second stream of the Real Madrid Anti-Galacticos save. I can't even get my words out, and we've only just started using the Mad Scientist 2001 database. We will be up and running very shortly. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy this one. We've got Champions League action coming up today. Right, we'll just get the other side of the stream up and running, and then we will be good to go. All right. So, good evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Session 2, our second stream of this Real Madrid Anti-Galactico series. I hope you're all doing well this evening. As you come in, please do get into the chat straight away. Just drop us a like, say hello, let us know what your team's been up to this weekend. We're getting to crunch time in a lot of the big leagues around Europe. If you're a Spurs fan, you would have had an exciting weekend. If you're a York City or Rochdale fan, or just a football fan, you would have loved that conclusion to the National League campaign. Absolutely crazy scenes there at Rochdale yesterday. Let us know your thoughts on that as well. Obviously, we've had the FA Cup semi-finals this weekend. Southampton, we dared to dream for a little bit that they were going to shock Man City, but Man City came back with 2 late goals, unfortunately. That Southampton game, that reminded me very much of playing Football Manager. That was like, and we were managing Southampton. If you've played Football Manager just a few seasons, you'll know what I mean. When you're up against a much bigger team, then you get the goal late on and you think, yes, this is it, we're going to do it. And then you somehow get hammered 2-1 with 2 late goals. Absolutely sickening stuff. Southampton got FM'd. I think we can say that. Anyway, we're here with the Mad Scientist 2001 database. Thank you very much to the Mad Scientist for putting this together for all of us to enjoy. You can enjoy it as well, of course. You can just go download it from Steam and so on. And we are, we're moving on. How have you got the Spanish teams licensed? Asked Louis. You mean with the Spanish team names? I've used the real name fix. I do have a video about it right here on my TikTok channel about how to get the real names fix. You can just tap that into the search bar at the top, obviously after this stream, but you can just tap that in to the search bar, just real name fix, Football Manager, and it should pop up. Or just scroll down my page a little bit and you'll find it. It's just a matter of you've got to delete a few files in the installation folder and then you've got to download a real name fix and get that all set up. But yes, tonight we're back in the year 2000 with this Real Madrid team. Remember, we're going for Anti-Galactico football. So we're trying to play Route 1. We've got Dion Dublin as our big target man. We've got Ehigou. I kept calling him Ehigou the other day. My bad. And we've got David Batty forming the spine of the team. And today we've got Champions League action. So our first game coming up is going to be against Feyenoord away in the Champions League. You can see the news item here. Feyenoord gripped by UEFA Champions League fever. And thank you for the likes coming in already. That's much appreciated. As soon as we hit 1,000 likes, we've got a little 90s football quiz for you guys to try out with my special deck of 90s football playing cards. Guess the kit. But we'll get up to... We'll start off with 1,000 likes, and then we'll do it every 5,000 likes from there. I need to work out how to get the texts up. But yeah, these absolutely brilliant playing cards with kind of representations of iconic kits. See if you can guess what they are. But anyway, we'll get onto that later. For now, we've got this Feyenoord game in the Champions League. I must confess, I did have a little bit of a boo-boo. I started earlier with a game. We had a game, we were scheduled to start bang on 8:30. We didn't start bang on 8:30 because I somehow managed to play this game up here against Real Mallorca. Thinking I was streaming it when I was actually not streaming it at all. There's some real kind of DG stuff for you right there. It happens, unfortunately. Let me just move that across so that's in the right spot. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Bit of a senior moment, shall we say? No, we shall not. But anyway, so we drew against Mallorca anyway, and that's forced me to think we need to tweak our tactics a bit. So we're going to ditch the three at the back, and we're going to go for a 4-4-2, more of a classic 4-4-2 for this game, away to Feyenoord. We're still going to go attacking. We're still going to go balls up to the big target man, Dion Dublin, but it's a 4-4-2 this time. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to start getting some better results. So just as a reminder, as we said, this is 2000-2001 database. So that's why we've got Iker Casillas here as a 19-year-old. That's why we've got Roberto Carlos in the game, Raul. And then, of course, we've got our Route 1 signings, our Dion Dublin, David Batty, and Ehigou as well. And am I using a skin? Yes, I am. I'm using the skin from Mr. Tinney. It doesn't make massive changes, but it does tidy things up a bit. So, I've given up on the default skin for now. Too cluttered. This one's still too cluttered, to be honest, but at least it's not as badly cluttered as the other one. I guess we'll go with that. All right. Good stuff. So let's get into the match straight away. But yes, thank you, everyone, for jumping in for the likes. Hitting the likes. We've got a guess the player game that we'll get to a little bit later as well. Oh, yes, let's proceed to the match, of course. Please do share the live as well. Get it out there to as many people as possible. Let's try and get a few people, as many people as we can out here. All right, good stuff. So we're up against Feyenoord. And Feyenoord, this is the Feyenoord of 2000, of course. So Jerzy Dudek is in there. Johan Elmander, they've got as well. John Dahl Thomason, a few blast from the past names there. Oops, sorry, pressed the wrong button there for a second. But yeah, hopefully we can win this one. We should be winning this one. So let's see if we can. Meg Fishy, welcome. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. All right, let's go. I want to be impressed today. Put on a show. Yes. Good. I'm sure that's what you can all say to me for a team talk as well. We got to do a quick tunnel interview. We need to stick to the plan. Good. I'm happy with our preparation. And we want to get a good result today. Okay, fantastic. Here we go. So we're at the Coupe. Feyenoord playing the 4-2-3-1. Hopefully we're going to get a big win here. Oh, we got the Champions League music. Lovely stuff. I do like, of course, we've had it for a couple of years now, the Champions League licensing and the fact that they've done it in this way. I just wish that when they showed the centre circle there, why don't they have everybody doing that, flapping the Champions League logo, which is, what we want from our real life presentation, Never mind all the other stuff about the UI and the bugs. That's what we need to fix Football Manager. Lovely. All right, let's kick off. We'll cut the music short. Let's see. Score predictions in the chat then. Let's see what you think we can do. Are we going to find some form finally? Because we haven't been doing very well at the start. Well, we've been a bit up and down. We haven't been doing very well by Real Madrid standards. Let's put it that way. Of course, a disappointing loss to Barcelona. You might have seen that from the stream clips I posted on TikTok earlier today. We did get some good wins, though, against Celta Vigo, against Malaga, against Rayo Vallecano, but a heavy loss as well to Athletic Bilbao last stream. Here we go. Raul. Oh, that's it. Raul, the curse is lifted. Raul with a goal 7 minutes in. Absolutely brilliant stuff. 2-0 confidence, says Glory MNU. Well, you could be right. Look at that. Steve McManaman doing what he does best. David Batty with the defence splitter. Raul takes it on the turn. He's got Dion Dublin there. He thinks, I don't need him. And great goal. That's a great start. This is much more like it. The 4-4-2 definitely taking a better effect. Now, this is what I was playing a variation of this when we won the Super Cup against Spurs. This could be the one to go with. I still want Roberto Carlos to be making those marauding runs forward and crossing the ball for Dion Dublin. I've set Roberto Carlos to cross the far post, which is why I've got Dion Dublin on that right side of the attack. Hopefully that's going to lead to some goals. Now, we have had this issue in other games in the first stream where we started off well and then the other teams just came back at us. But yeah, hopefully we can we can stick with it this time. But all right, this is all good stuff. We're off to a cracking start. But, we managed to survive that. Feyenoord almost got back in it there. We'll get a praise shout out because we're doing well. We're off to a good start. I think, who else have we got in our group here? We've got Panathinaikos, I remember. Was it Leverkusen, I think, as well? So it's not the most challenging Champions League group, but it's not a walkover group either. Everybody in here is capable of beating everybody else on their day. Of course, Real Madrid should be coming out on top, should, I say, as Feyenoord hit the post. But, hopefully we're going to see us storm through this group stage. This is, of course, the year 2000-2001 season, so the Champions League is in its old format, which, for those of you old enough to remember, that was back when there was a double group stage. So that was that was how it was in those days. The closest thing we've had to a Super League, I guess, until we got the Swiss system that we have today. Anyway, here we go. McManaman plays it in. Dion Dublin plays in Raul. Raul, make it two. Raul. Spanish Prince does the job. Absolutely fantastic. Merck Fishy remembers that. Yes, he was around in the day as well. Glory MNU, just going back to your question. What was your formation before? And do you think the formation you have now will win as expected? Yeah, I went in the first stream the other night. I went for like a 5-3-2, I guess. So we had three centre backs. We had Roberto Carlos and Salgado as our wing backs, a couple of defensive midfielders, and then an attacking triangle of Dion Dublin, Raul, and then either Figo or McManaman. It got mixed results. It had worked well in testing, but as soon as we went live, it just started, not working, especially in the games against Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao. So I had a 4-4-2 that I was playing around with as well. So we've gone for that one this time. So we'll say you're doing brilliantly. 2-0 up away from home is fantastic. We'll just tell everybody... the attackers, though, really made a difference. All right, out there for the second half. All right, good stuff. All good stuff. And, of course, another bizarre European format you may remember, if you were around at the time. So we had the two group stages in the Champions League. Then we also had the Europa League, if you remember, when they had their 5-team group stage. It was, Dion Dublin. There we go. Dion Dublin doing what Dion Dublin does with the header. Can you imagine this alternate universe, what it could have been like if we'd have had Dion Dublin scoring goals in the Champions League, scoring on away nights in Rotterdam in a Real Madrid shirt? This is why we love Football Manager and these retro databases. It gives us a chance to rewrite history in this way. But yeah, this is all brilliant stuff so far. Off to a flyer in this stream. Okay, here we go. Roberto Carlos is on a yellow. We're going to have to watch out for that. Let's see. David Batty's not on a yellow, which is surprising. Makalele, I've forgiven him for his blunder in the last stream. Salgado getting forward. Come on, lay it off. McManaman. Boom. 4-0. Can we play you every week, Feyenoord? Can we play you every week? All right, we are overwhelming them here. Yeah, it looks like a formation that fit the team and the players you have. Exactly. I think Big John Hartson, that would have been good. He's at Wimbledon in this database, so he's in the old First Division. But yeah, that's one thing I thought as well. I was obsessed with, I want my target man, I want my wing backs, but then of course I couldn't get McManaman into the team. It was either him or Figo, and then I wasn't playing McManaman in his best position. Now I can play McManaman on the right wing, which is his best spot. I can't quite fit Figo in here, but he's missed 2 penalties for us so far. So I'm kind of, I've gone off Figo a little bit. He can sit a few games out. I'm sure he'll be fine. You've got to act tough with these Galacticos. If you're not doing the business, you're not getting the starts. But anyway, let's go for a praise shout. We'll look at making some subs. We're on the hour mark now, so we can give a couple of people a run out. So what about? I would take off Raul, but he's on a hat trick. Let's let him get to his hat trick. How about we bring on a young Guti? Guti for Makalele, because Makalele's on a yellow, so we don't want to risk him getting sent off. Probably could do with taking Roberto Carlos off as well, but we'll leave him on for now. We'll bring on this Fernando Hierro guy. He's probably pretty good. There we go. Team talk. Okay. Plenty of time left. Go out there, make an impact, and off we go. All right, good stuff. But as we said, as you're joining the live, remember we're doing a 2000-2001 retro database here with Real Madrid, the Anti-Galactico save, trying to get them to play some Route 1 big man football with Dion Dublin. Yeah, we love it around here. But as you come in, do jump in the chat. Don't forget to like and share the live. Let us know how your football team got on this weekend, if they were in action, or any of the other footballing stories that caught your eye this weekend. I've already mentioned the big Rochdale-York, which was so massive yesterday, and such a fantastic, crazy end to the season down there in the National League. Kind of stuff that's what proper football's all about. And that's what we're trying to recreate here with Real Madrid. Not trying to recreate winning the National League, but I mean playing proper football and getting the big, exciting results. Are we going to let Feyenoord have a consolation here? We're sitting back a bit deep now, it seems. Hartson, Dublin, Big Duncan Ferguson. All great names. I did try. John Dahl Thomason. Another target man of the time. I did try to sign Duncan Ferguson. That was my first thought for the big target man. But of course, in the game sees it as he's just returned to Everton from Newcastle. So he didn't want to move. He was just like, I've just signed my contract here at Everton. And I suppose it's true to life. Duncan Ferguson, supremely loyal to Everton. So he wouldn't consider moving on, I'm sure. All right. But yeah, we got the win in the bag here. This is all looking good. And then on to the next game. Because of the way the Champions League is structured in this season, we do get the games thick and fast. It's like we're going to be playing Champions League games pretty much every midweek. So it's like league game, Champions League game, La Liga, Champions League, La Liga, Champions League. Oh, this is not good. We've let our concentration dip a bit here. John Dahl Thomason making the comeback for Feyenoord. I'm thinking it's too late for them to peg this back to 4-4. I hope it is. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Anyway, I'm sure if you hit the likes on the stream and share it, that will help shore up our defense. All right, here we go. Hierro. Ehigou. Gets it out. Dion Dublin dropping deep. Okay, Raul out to Solari. Solari, come on, whip the cross in. Let's see. Have you got Roberto Carlos there in support? There he is. There he is. David Batty with the cross to the far post. What's he playing at there? He shouldn't be that far up the pitch. He'll get a nosebleed. All right, Salgado. Salgado, come on. Let's whip this one in. McManaman looking for Raul. All right, not bad. Not bad. We've responded. We went to sleep a bit, let Feyenoord score 2, and now we're coming back at them, and now Raul gets his hat-trick. Raul gets his hat-trick. Absolutely brilliant. There you go. There we're just showing them that, okay, as soon as we, just take this game a little bit seriously, you don't stand a chance. Absolutely beautiful stuff. This is one of those replays where Football Manager's showing us like 2 minutes of replay when we only need 10 seconds, which is what happens these days. Heskey. Yeah, Heskey's a bit of a young'un in this one. He could be good, but don't worry. Heskey will get lots of chances at the big time. He's going to have a whole host of England managers who will keep giving him game time. And he'll play for loads of big clubs, so he'll be fine even without us signing him for Real Madrid. There we go, Steve McManaman. 6-2. Wow, this has been a crazy end to the game. An absolutely crazy end to the game. Paul Dickov, says Steve. That's a good shout. Jan Koller, absolute tank indeed. So he's at Bayern Munich here, Jan Koller. Paul Dickov, it's interesting when you look at the Manchester City squad in here, because Paul Dickov's there. George Weah, a 33 or 34-year-old George Weah is there as well. And then you've also got Paulo Wanchop and Sean Gota. So quite a strike force there at Man City at the old main road, as it was at the time, before they got their big money. But yeah, so it's great. If you want to have a play around with that era of Manchester City, then definitely download this database. All right. Okay, let's have a look. I didn't read those questions. I just clicked through the answers. Raul takes the plaudits. We finally got Raul. So look, obviously, the extreme version of Route 1 football, the wing-backs pumping the long balls up to the big man, Dion Dublin. Raul was just not coping with that well at all. He was missing penalties. He was hitting the post, missing open goals and things like that. Now we've compromised slightly. We've gone for this 4-4-2. Look at that, 2.29 million just for a win in the Champions League. Absolutely beautiful. But now Raul is, taking the plaudits. Absolutely fantastic. Do we want to rest Roberto Carlos? Right, let's send the assistant there. I think I'm just going to, shall we suggest it? Do we want to give him a rest, a short break from playing? He says that sounds good. Now let me I should have checked who we're playing in the next game first. Okay, Alaves at home. That should be fine. And then Leverkusen in the Champions League. All right, let's go for it. Okay, let's have a look. Jalmino was one of your faves to watch at Deportivo La Coruña. Of course, Deportivo La Coruña were winning La Liga titles and having great runs in Europe at the time. Then they would drop off. But Alaves, of course, this was the year Alaves made the UEFA Cup final with that classic game with Liverpool. What was it? 5-4 it finished after extra time. Yeah, this is just a great era of football. I was chatting to some people in the comments on my videos earlier today. Just, late 90s, early 2000s. That was peak football. Like, every league just had such quality players. Lots of exciting matches. You didn't get these kind of chess-like games where you had tactical thinkers like Pep and Mikel Arteta and cancelling each other out and things like that. No, it was just, it was a great balance of having incredibly talented players and just really exciting football, I think. Is Jalmina any good on the game? Yeah, we can have a look if we get time. Right, well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Deportivo La Coruña squad. We'll go for it. I'll give you that one before we get on to the next match. So Deportivo, if we pull them up here. So here you go. Hopefully that fits nicely into the screen for you. So here you go. The Brazilian striker, dribbling 20, finishing 18, technique 20, free kick and penalty taking 20. Oh, this is beautiful. Off the ball 20, flair 19. This is just absolutely, top-notch stuff, top drawer stuff. The mad scientist for this, he does go back when it's a database based on a year when there was a championship or football manager game. He does go back and use the stats from those games as much as possible. So, these players do end up with some amazing stats. A lot of 20s in there, indeed. So, I played couple of FMs ago, I played the 98-99 database, and I tried to recreate Manchester United's treble-winning season. And the players there, Dwight York, Andy Cole, and then Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler at Liverpool, just absolutely tearing it up. Right, Raul, I'm going to rest him for this game. Going to give Morientes a start. I think we'll bring on Figo for McManaman as well. And I think, I need to choose some more subs too. I need to give Roberto Carlos a rest, don't I? So, who have I got? I've got somebody who can play left back, haven't I? Somebody else. Who was it? Where's he gone? No, I don't. I have another wing back. Right, I'm going to have a look at the B team and the under-19 squad, see if we can get somebody in from there. We're definitely lacking a bit of depth. So anyway, we'll go with Bernejo. We promised Roberto Carlos a rest, so we'll give the big man a rest. Helguera comes back in after being suspended for the previous game. No, he's not available for this game either. He's injured. Okay. Whoops. Let's just do a quick pick. That's going to make things much easier for us, and then we'll edit from here. Yes, we need to give players a rest where we can. Now we need to get Big Dion back in there because the game's kicked him out of the team. All right, there we go. And we'll get Batty in on the subs bench as well. All right, good. We'll get there in a second. All right. So, as I said, we'll do a quick... we've got a quick card game. So, as we're at 1.2k likes, Jeremy was one of those players who only scored screamers. Yes, we couldn't fit him into the squad, so I've sent him out on loan, would you believe? But, okay, I'm going to show you a card. We're going to pick... We've got the 8 of clubs. So the 8 of clubs, I'm going to show this up on the camera. And, okay, let's try and get it so the light's not reflecting off it too much. And what do you reckon? Which classic 90s kit is being recreated there on the 8 of clubs? If you know what it is, pop your message in the chat. Which one do you think for the 8 of clubs? I'll pop that back up later. And if you get it right, you can pick the next card we draw. Pick a card, any card. All right, let's go out there for this game. Home advantage is important. Go out there and make sure we get the 3 points here against Alaves. We should be doing. All right, good stuff. Okay, got to talk to the press again. Yeah, we love scoring goals, and we want to play well in every match. Has the recent schedule? No. We're used to this kind of stuff. We're Real Madrid. Forest, says Alan. It is indeed. That one is a classic Nottingham Forest kit right there. I'll let you choose the next card. You can choose any card, and we'll see if we can guess which kit it is. There are some of these that I don't recognise here in the card deck, but most of them I think I've got a good chance of naming them. But all right, here we go. Alaves playing. Are we playing? Okay, Alaves playing in the orange. We're playing in the all-white. Of course, we're at home, so of course we would be. Ace. The Ace of Hearts. Let's have a look. I've got the Ace of Diamonds here. Let me just shuffle through, find the Ace of Hearts for you. Ace of Spades. Okay, the Aces seem to be goalkeeper kits. So, got to get ourselves ready for that. So there we go. Ace of Hearts. Oh, yeah, this is a recognizable goalkeeper kit. But there you go. Ace of Hearts. Does anybody recognize that one? Which team's goalkeeper jersey is that one? Obviously, they've removed the sponsor, but the shape of the sponsor crest might give you a clue. It is indeed Newcastle. Alan's on a roll. And Fernando Morientes is on a roll as well. As we go 1-0 up inside just over a minute, inside 2 minutes. Absolutely fantastic start to this game. Brilliant. All right. If you're just joining us, you're joining us at a great time as Real Madrid take the lead. We've switched up our tactics a bit, 4-4-2, and we're suddenly playing much better than we were the other night. Let's not talk about Athletic Club. We never played that game. You were just hallucinating. All right, I do hope everyone's had a good weekend. Like I said before, do let us know what football you've watched over the weekend. How did your team get on? How did your local team get on? I live in Bedfordshire, so Bedford Town had a big weekend. They've now secured their place in the National League North for next season, so they definitely are safe from relegation now, so a big weekend for them. Dion Dublin and Flavio Conceição. Dublin with the assist. What a strike. You'll let someone else answer the next one. Okay, well, next one comes at 2,000 likes, so get hitting that like. Get hitting those likes so we can get the like target up. 2,000 likes for the next football quiz. All right, good stuff. Good play. Look at this beautiful goal. Dion Dublin pulls the defender out of position, spots Conceição on the edge of the box. Beautiful stuff. All right, brilliant. Also, Real Bedford, the other team around my area, they are the step below the National North-South, and they've secured a playoff spot. So they got a playoff game coming up on Wednesday. I don't know. I normally stream on a Wednesday, but I might go and see if I can get along to that game on Wednesday night. Should be a good one. But yeah, do let us know what your teams got up to. Obviously, at the business end of the season for much of the world of football. All right, here we go. Dion Dublin. Oh, I thought he was going to set up another goal there. Oh, he is. He is. Well, there you go. Well done, Dion. Second bite of the cherry. Beautiful stuff. Morientes. Morientes is showing that he is a worthy deputy to Raul. Beautiful. All right, we are on a roll here. Absolutely hammering Alaves in this game. Hopefully we don't slip up in the second half, lose our concentration and concede 2 goals, like we did against Feyenoord. But all right, let's go for it. Far post. Oof, oof. Nearly goal number 4 there. Nearly goal number 4. All right. All good stuff. All good stuff. But yes, please do as you come in. Don't be shy. Get into the chat. Drop us a comment. Say hello. Oh, Savio, what a goal that was. 4-0 up. This is beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And yeah, do please like the live. Share it as well. If you share the live, it'll help us get out to more people. And yeah, let's see if we can get a bit of a crowd in. Back to streaming. I had a bit of a break from... I was doing a bit of streaming over Christmas, New Year. Had a bit of a break from it for a couple of months. Trying to get back into it regularly now. Obviously, we're moving towards the World Cup. We're waiting for this Football Manager World Cup update to appear. As soon as that appears, we will be... Ooh, as we let Alaves get a goal back, we will be putting some World Cup content, some World Cup challenges out on the stream. So trying to build up a bit of an audience before then. But so yeah, let's get it going. All good stuff. All right, so we're coming up. Let's get a praise shout out there, even though we just conceded. It's interesting. When we were playing our formation with 3 at the back the other night, our opponents kept playing 4-4-2. And now we are playing 4-4-2. Our opponents keep playing 4-3-3. So they're obviously responding to us in some way. But anyway, let's address the team. What a 45 minutes that was. Just Steve McManaman is not having a great game. I'll tell him that. You've not been having a great game. Defenders, very happy. Everybody else, very happy. And obviously, Morientes and Dublin, absolutely delighted. All right, good stuff. Let's keep it going. All right, can we get an early goal here in the second half? Just to really set things on their way. We've had 10 goals from Real Madrid already this evening. 13 goals in our 1.5 matches of football so far. So you're getting your value for money here. That deserves a like and a follow. All right. All right. If we get a goal here, that would be fantastic. Come on. Helguera, McManaman, Dion Dublin. That's what we signed him for. That's what we signed him for. Yet another goal. Absolutely brilliant, this. Living the dream here. Can you imagine if Dion Dublin... See what could have been for the guy. I mean, I know he had a great career. He's obviously won many a title at Manchester United and was a big part of the Aston Villa and Coventry teams. But what could have been for Dion? He could have been a Galactico or an Anti-Galactico. All right, let's see. All right. Alaves are going to come at us here. They're looking to save some embarrassment. Should check, do they have Jordi Cruyff in their lineup? I should have paid more attention to that. Steve McManaman looking for Dion. That's not the kind of ball you play to Dion Dublin, is it, Steve? Come on. That's the kind of ball you play to Dion Dublin. But all right, it was nearly goal number 6. Nearly goal number 6 there. All right, good stuff. Right, just as a reminder, if you're just joining us, we are playing here the 2000-2001 retro database, which is why we've got all these throwback names. We're managing Real Madrid. We're trying to play Anti-Galactico football. So we've got Dion Dublin as our target man. We've got David Batty. We've got Ehigou in defence. We're playing 4-4-2, long ball football, going for the set pieces of the corners, as you can see. And tonight it's working. We're 5-1 up against Alaves, which is beautiful to see. So anyway, hope you are all having a good weekend. What game is this, King? It is Football Manager 26, FM26. It's, you know, people keep asking me, is the game fixed now? No, but it's improved from when it was released, but it's good fun. You can still have fun if you set yourself an interesting challenge and just turn a blind eye to a lot of the bugs. And there we go, Savio scores. It's 6-1. How many? Could we get to double figures here? Isn't Madrid just too easy, though? Well, that's why, Lucas, we tried to make it a bit harder by saying we've got to play 4-4-2, long ball. We've got to play... we've got to sign these kind of English cult heroes to the team as well. I mean, against Alaves, it has been easy. We're scoring a lot of goals tonight, but We tried to make it a little bit more challenging for ourselves. We did end up with, we had a rough start to the season if you were with us in the stream the other night, or if you go and check my videos out here on TikTok, you'll see a defeat to Barcelona, a 0-0 with Real Oviedo. We had a poor result against the Athletic Club, but we finally got it to click. We are conceding goals still, though. Yeah, so 2001 database, it's available through the Mad Scientist. If you look him up, the Mad Scientist FM, he's here on TikTok. You'll find him. You'll find out how to download this as well. So that's the legend save. Brexit football in La Liga, absolutely. And Brexit 16 years before Brexit as well. We're predicting the future here. All right, let's have a look. Can we get a 7th goal? Come on, I want a 7th goal here. I need to make some subs too. Here he is. Ehigou. There, what a player. Makalele. Oh, out to Steve McManaman. Come on, cross it to the big man. Cross it to Dion Dublin. No one at the back post, but here we go. We've got Savio. I think, oh, penalty. Penalty. Now, we had 3 penalties on the stream the other night. We didn't score a single one. Can we finally break our penalty duck? It's Hierro. You could not make this stuff up. You could not make this stuff up. I'm not joking. If you were not in the stream, or you haven't seen the videos I've posted since that last stream, the other night, we had 3 penalties in 5 games. Figo missed 2. Hierro missed 1. And that was our 4th penalty of the season. And Hierro has missed again. That is absolutely crazy. Oh my God. I must be the most cursed penalty manager out there, even though we got the big win. Do you know if there's an update for console version FM24? Unfortunately not. The Mad Scientist did also make this database for FM24 just because of the number of people who are still playing the game. But unfortunately, these retro databases only work on the PC version. So you love McManaman. Yes, he's one of my favourite players, even though he was a Liverpool player. I did enjoy watching him play back in the 90s. There we go. Done the press stuff. Sean Dyke football also works. How you get the pack skins for the kits. So you just have to... You can find those on a lot of the popular football manager sites. You can also... There's a video on my TikTok page that shows you how to do it. But you just simply download them and you install them to your graphics folder in the documents folder. And then there you go. You get the kits. So that's all good. I've got a special kit pack here. Look at that. Player of the Week in La Liga, Dion Dublin. I've got a special kit pack just for the 2000-2001 database. So we got all the retro kits for the big teams. I've got also here my retro... Oh, there you go. My retro Real Madrid kit. I got this one off Classic Football Shirts. Do check my showcase if you want to get one for yourself and support the channel with a little bit of commission for me. I do have those available as well. All right. Let me see. Good stuff. I must remember to keep recording clips. I keep forgetting to do that. But all right. How do you do that? There was a way to do that in... there we go. I think it's the highlight mode in TikTok. All right. Good stuff. Right. There we go. Leverkusen next in the Champions League. So there you go. Sort it out, SI. Good. Fantastic. All right, we're up to 2,000 likes, so we're going to do another retro football quiz. What we're going to do this time, I mentioned Classic Football Shirts. Oh, request stadium expansion at the Bernabeu. No, thanks. All right. So I mentioned Classic Football Shirts. Classic Football Shirts, when you buy a shirt off them, send you these cards. So I've got here some retro players. You're going to guess which retro player I have in my card. So... here we go. I've picked a card here. So I've picked a card here, an Icons and Legends card. There you go. You need to guess which card I've got. You can ask me questions in the chat. Thank you, Grift, for the follow. Much appreciated. You need to ask me questions. It's not Rooney. This is somebody who would have been playing in 2000, 2001. But yeah, ask me some yes-no questions. I'll answer them, and we'll see if you can guess who I've got here on this classic card. Is he English? He's not English. No. So it's not an English player. You'll need to ask me another question if you want to find out more. But we're trying to guess this player here. Who's on my Icons and Legends card? He's also not Spanish. Not Spanish either. I will give you European nationality, but not English or Spanish. So keep guessing. Keep guessing. Who's our icon and legend here on the card? I'll give you some other clues. French, also not French. Keep going. Keep going. We're trying to narrow it down by nationality, but not yet. Need to think of which. Nigeria. No, it is European, as I said. It is European. So not English, not Spanish, not French, but it is European. So see if you can keep guessing on that one. All right, let's quickly pick our team here for the Leverkusen game. We've got to stick with Dion up top though. We've got to get Ehigou in there as well. Dion up top and David Batty in for Makalele. There we go. All right, let's go to the match here. So Poland, also unlucky. Played in La Liga. That's a good question. I would have to double check. He wasn't best known for playing in La Liga. That's for sure. Mainly, one of the other big leagues of the time he played in. But he may have played in La Liga. I think he did actually. Yes, I'm going to say yes. Let me just double check. Hopefully, I'm not sharing my screen. But I had a bit of a blank on my ball knowledge there for some reason. But yes, he did. In fact, he would have been in my team if this was the 99-2000 database. So yes, I don't know why I didn't remember that. But no, he didn't play in the Premier League. He did not play in Germany. No, didn't play in Germany. So there you go. Got some more clues. So that you've got your first positive that he did play in La Liga. So keep guessing. All right, let's do our team talk quickly. Let's have a look. Carry your form from the last game into this one. Yes, good stuff. Get out there. Make a difference. Pick up from where you left off last time. And there you go. Lovely stuff. You missed the question. So I've got here a card. It's an iconic footballer from the era in which we're managing, from the 2000-2001 era. You just need to guess who it is, asking me some yes-no questions. So we've had a few guesses about nationality. They've all been wrong so far, but we have said he is European. He has played in La Liga, but he hasn't played in the Premier League. Italy, are you guessing there nationality or league? Dutch, yes, James, he's Dutch. This is a Dutch player. He did play in La Liga. He did play in Italy in Serie A as well. That's probably what he's best known for, is his time in Serie A. But yeah, oh, there we go. Di Fallon is on a roll. There you go. Clarence Seedorf is the mystery man there in his Ajax kit. Raul has just put us up, right? Put us one up, right as you guessed that correctly. So yeah, nice one. I've got a few more of those. That we can do later on. Once we get to 3,000 likes, we'll do another one. That screamer he scored for Madrid. Yeah, for some reason, I just blanked. I was asked if he'd played in Spain, and I just always associate Seedorf with AC Milan and Ajax and the Dutch national team so much that I was just like, don't think he played it in La Liga. Did he play in La Liga? Of course he did. Of course he did. Wikipedia had to help me with that one. There we go. Long ball to Raul. It's 2. Nice one, Raul. All right. How did you end up signing Dublin for Real? Yes. That was the kind of point of the save. We went for an Anti-Galactico save, so I thought, let's take over Real Madrid. Of course, it's an easy team to manage. They're overpowered. But why don't we, instead of going for Galacticos, why don't we sign some players who just don't fit the Galactico mold, who are the complete opposite to it? So, Dion Dublin, we've got up front. We've got David Batty in midfield. We've got Ehigou in defence. We're playing 4-4-2, long ball football. and we're just having some fun with it. All right, Leverkusen equalising there. That's frustrating. We're going to make them regret equalising against us. Let's see. Don't think he played much for Madrid. When DG comes calling, you come. Indeed. Yeah, let's have a look. I've got his page up here. It says Seedorf was at Real Madrid from 96 to 2000. Played 121 games for them. So he did get a decent amount of games. But it was mainly AC Milan. 300 games for AC Milan across a 10-year period. So yeah, those were his main clubs. He was also at Sampdoria, of course. Sampdoria. Now there's a team from the 90s to manage. Super Samp. Anyway, here we go. Conceição. Dion Dublin is dropping deep here, isn't he? Steve McManaman, Salgado overlapping. Oh, this is lovely stuff. There's a goal coming here. You can feel it. There's a goal coming here. Come on, let's get it on Dion Dublin's head. Or his foot. Oh, we nearly scrambled and toe poked one in there. Almost. All right, so, yes, let's get up to 3,000 likes for our next footballing quiz. We can do kits or we can do mystery player. But, yeah, let's keep those interactions coming in. All right, here we go. Ooh, Leverkusen on the counter. We've got to watch out for them. Of course, Leverkusen, we're a decent team at the time. But Raul, come on, you got Big Dion with you. Use him. Should have used him, Raul. Raul, I've noticed in the stream so far, he does not like passing to Dion. I think it's because Dion undervalued his property or something like that. But yeah, they haven't gelled as a strike partnership. They're not really a partnership. They're kind of two individuals operating at the prongs of our attack. Here comes Salgado, McManaman. Yeah, we're definitely making good use of this right flank. Dion's dropped deep. Good stuff. Should we get this out to Roberto Carlos? No, we've lost it now. Leverkusen. Zeroberto. There's a blast from the past. Oh, Salgado. He's sent off. He's off. Oh, that was not very clever. Not very clever thing to do at 1-1. Right, who do we take off here? Do I switch over? I could switch over to the formation with the wing-backs that we had going. And then we'll play it by ear from there. Just play the 1 DM, maybe. I think that's what we might have to do. But that's gonna involve too much swapping around. So I'm gonna take Raul off. We're gonna have Big Dion on his own up front. And we're gonna have to go for... Oof. Oh, that's really left me in the lurch, that sending off. I didn't have a spare right back available on the bench. So we're going to put Roberto Carlos on the wrong side of the pitch. Oh, man, this is... yeah, we need it. We need a big performance from you tonight. This is not good. This is not good. Didn't Roberto play into his 40s? Possibly, yeah. I mean, he's definitely somebody whose name echoes across the ages, as it were. Let's have a look. Looking this one up on Wikipedia now. Yeah, he played his final game, Zeroberto, in 2017. So, yeah, for Palmeiras over in Brazil. Right, let's have a look. You've been unlucky so far. Good, we're going to have to keep the confidence up for this game. Let's tell the midfield to keep going. Big Dion, come on. You can do it. Yeah, he was actually, Zeroberto, of course I forgot about that. He's at Real Madrid for a period as well. 97. Only played 15 games, but he was there as well. Then went back to South America, then to Germany, back to South America, and then to Germany again, and then back to Brazil. So Zeroberto, quite the career he had. All right, good stuff. Don't forget to keep those likes coming. Share the live as well. Drop a follow. Always appreciated. Right, let's see. We're in a bit of a bind here against Bayer Leverkusen here. We've had a player sent off. Salgado got sent off. So, you know, we've got to be careful here that Leverkusen are holding us 1-1. We don't want to get sucker punched here. But we've got the quality, I think, to win this game, especially when we're playing like that. Come on. McManaman, Dublin, this is looking good. Roberto Carlos, oh my God. Roberto Carlos, what a strike. That was a literal net buster. See, that's where it worked. Stroke of genius there, I have to say. Putting Roberto Carlos on at right back because it just sets him up brilliantly to cut inside and explode that left foot through the ball. What a strike. What a strike. Roberto Carlos, we love it. All right, that was beautiful stuff. All right, let's keep those coming. I'll have to make sure I clip those for TikTok as well. All right, beautiful stuff. All right, so we're 2-1 up. We probably shouldn't be. Let's have a look. Can we make some subs? I think Dion's put in a shift, so we'll take him off. We'll put Morientes on. Inject a bit of pace into the team. Helguera's on a yellow, so we're taking him off as well. There you go. Go out there. Make sure we see this result through intact. Is that Karanka at left back? Indeed it is. Aitor Karanka. Here we go. Roberto Carlos. Things you love to see. Roberto Carlos charging up for a free kick. He's going for the cross, though. And it's the substitute Hierro. He's sealed the win. There we go. Done in long ball style. We got the free kick. We went for the big in-swinger. And we got the power header. Beautiful stuff. That's what you love to see. Look at that. Oh, well, power header, I say. Morientes knocked it down. Morientes playing like a true target man there. Knocked it down onto Hierro's boot. Brilliant. Yes. Karanka, great Borough manager, indeed. Of course. That's a weird thing for me. As a football fan of a certain vintage, is now, when you get people who you know them or you remember them very much in their playing career, but now you see this grey-haired guy or this kind of slightly rugged around the edges, ruffian, middle-aged guy managing a team, and then you're just like, hang on, I recognise that name. Of course, that guy won the Champions League back in 1999 and all that kind of stuff. All right, good stuff. Magnificent effort. Beautiful. Okay, good. So we're in a great position in the Champions League. If we just bring up the group here, you can't quite see it because of the verticality of TikTok, but we are top of the group with 2 wins out of 2. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's have a look. What time is it? 9:30. Okay, we're going to do... Let's just have a look at the other matches that we've got for tonight. So, surprise outcome at Stamford Bridge. Now, look at that. Chelsea beat Juventus 2-1. Back in 2000, they called that a surprise outcome. All right, let's have a look. So, we've got Real Sociedad next. Okay, we've got 3 league games coming up, and then we've got another international break. So, Real Sociedad, Villareal, Las Palmas. So, I think what we'll do is we'll play through those 3 league games. Then I'll do the international break off camera. And when we come back, probably Wednesday night for a stream, we'll be doing Panathinaikos doubleheader in the Champions League. And we'll be powering through into November as well. All right, we'll let the assistant do the press conference. All good stuff. But yes, if you are just joining us, make sure you say hello in the chat. Please do let us know where you're joining us from this evening, which football team you support, and how they got on this weekend. You know, get the chat going. Let's see. Are we up to? Yeah, if we get up to 3,000 likes, we've got another football quiz to come. All right, let's just quickly click through all of this, and then we'll be ready for our next game. So it's a big one, Villarreal. Oh, sorry, Real Sociedad. Villarreal will be a big one as well. But Real Sociedad away. So we should be winning this one. But no easy games in Spain. Actually, if we look at the table, Real Sociedad are 4th at the moment. But it's a good opportunity. If we can beat them, we leapfrog them, and we go 4th ourselves. So that's what we need to do. Real Oviedo, top of the league at this point. Wouldn't have expected that. Not with all of this. Morientes out for 3 days. Okay, that's not too bad. And Salgado. This is going to be a problem in our next Champions League game against Panathinaikos. We've got Salgado and Roberto Carlos both suspended. That is going to be tough. But anyway, let's let our assistant handle the press conference and get ourselves over to the next game. And don't forget, as you're coming in, hit the like and share the live. And yeah, let's see how many people we can get this in. We're trying to build up an audience here ahead of the World Cup. We're going to be doing lots of streams for the World Cup once the Football Manager World Cup update is out. Of course, we don't have any news yet on the Football Manager World Cup update. Everybody was expecting to have heard it by now, but as has been the pattern with Sports Interactive in recent years, the news comes a little bit slowly. I don't know if Sports Interactive themselves, to be fair, ever said, we will give you news by a certain date. But yeah, it's surprising that we haven't heard anything yet. We haven't even heard like when the update might be available or anything like that. So yeah, that's a bit of a frustration. But hopefully we'll get something soon. Do you guys enjoy international management on Football Manager when it's available? Do let us know in the comments. Right, I'm going to put Roberto Carlos back into the team. Here's our Aitor Karanka. You can't quite see his full profile there, but it is indeed the Borough manager. So let's bring him in for Helguera as well. We'll get Ehigou in there as well, sorry. And David Batty needs to get into this team quickly. All right, let's bring him in then. So Batty in for Conceição. And that's our team to start the game. All right. Beautiful stuff. So let's see if we can get the win here against Real Sociedad. And yeah, hopefully we can keep this win streak going for this evening. We've been scoring for fun this evening so far. So pick up where you left off last time out. Even with 10 men against Leverkusen, we were fine. And let's talk to the media. Okay, we're going to have to be on our game from the first minute. Let's have a look. Would you say Javier Clemente has done remarkably well? Yeah, they're doing well. They might find your comments we asked you to praise the manager, and now you've praised him. We're going to say that you were patronising him. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Lovely stadium, this one, for Real Sociedad. Look at that team. All the throwback names in there. And look at this team. Playing their 4-4-2. All right, let's get out there for the kickoff. Playing in our black kit. This is better than the white one, isn't it? This black kit, much better than the white one from the era. Who doesn't love a black and gold kit? Come on. Anyway, it's Real Sociedad here with the early play. Let's see if we can nick the ball off them, launch a quick counter. So, Pat, you say you liked international management alongside managing a club. Needed a bit more depth in it, though. Yes, I would agree with you there. That was something... Oh, there we go. Raul. Beautiful stuff. That was something I used to love doing as well, was having that national team going alongside a club team, especially if you were doing a challenge like FC Vaduz Liechtenstein or FC Andorra. It was always good. I also liked it sometimes if you'd left a club job, you were waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Maybe an international job would be a good way to pass the time. I would sometimes do international-only saves as well. Oh, great goal from De Pedro. We'll give him his flowers for that. But, yeah, definitely, I mean, it needed a bit more depth. One thing I liked about international management, though, in the stripped-back way it was, before it was removed from the game, was sometimes if I just wanted a quick-fire game, maybe I had a long-term save, but I just wanted a break from it, but I still wanted... because FM's a game you sit down and you play for like 3 or 4 hours, right? It's not really a game to sit down and play for half an hour, but international management is. You could sit down, play for 30, 45 minutes, have some good fun. I miss it. Let's bring it back as soon as we can. All right, here we go. Raul, he should have scored there. Come on, Raul. Let's see what we can do from here. If we can get this one. If we can get a second goal, retake the lead here. Come on, get it out. It went for Raul. We should be putting these crosses on Dion Dublin's head. Anyway, Orb Rob is asking, any ideas? Quite bored. Any ideas, you mean for an FM save? Or any ideas what to do with your evening? I mean, you've made a good choice coming into the stream. That should keep you entertained for the next half hour at least, or 20 minutes or so, I think we've got left. But yeah, the matches have been a bit long today because we've been scoring so many goals for an FM save. All right, that depends. So what save are you playing at the moment? What are you playing at the moment so we don't recommend something that you've already tried or you're already doing? What kind of saves generally get your interest, or maybe the kind of things that you've thought about before but haven't given it a try? Me personally, I like, I used to many years ago. Oh, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I used to, we'll tell them they weren't that bad. They can still improve. Always manage big teams. Newcastle was a go-to team for me. Back in the late Championship Manager, early Football Manager days, I always, they were a team that never quite won the title, so I tried to turn them into title winners. But then I started to get more and more obscure. It's a bit like, I'm not sure how I can explain this without angering the TikTok censors, but it's a bit like when you get an addiction to something and you just need increasingly heavier doses of it to satisfy your itch. So with Football Manager, I found I needed to get to more and more obscure clubs to satisfy that itch. So at first I went to Brøndby and managed in Denmark, won the UEFA Cup with them. Then I started going for really small teams, going out and saying, I've never managed in the North American leagues. I've never managed in the Asian or the South Africa League. So just going out and picking increasingly smaller clubs and seeing how far I could take them. So you've done a save with Coventry, won the Champions League, building a mid-table Premiership club. Sounds good. Thank you for the follow. Again, much appreciated. But yeah, so it might be worth trying abroad if you don't normally do saves outside the UK. Could be good to go abroad. The Dutch leagues would be good, I think. So obviously PSV are the dominant team in Holland at the moment. Ajax are having a difficult time, but they're always good in FM. So maybe take over Feyenoord, or maybe take over something like FC Utrecht or AZ, and then try to turn them into the dominant team in the Netherlands and try to win the Champions League with a Dutch team. That would be a good challenge, I think. Could be worth a try, picking a league like that. Right, we are in danger of losing this game. Going to end our win streak for the evening. Dion's not playing well, so reluctant as I am to do this, I'm going to take him off. I'm going to put on Savio as well for Solari. And I think we need on Hierro. All right. Team talk. Make an impact. And let's get ourselves up attacking again. I dropped down a little bit to balance because I sensed we were getting overrun, but here come Real Sociedad. Build Ajax to European Giants. That would be a good one. Yeah, again. Of course, they were Champions League winners in, what was it, 95? So try to recreate that glory for them, especially building it up with the youth system. Oh, there we go. The substitutions work. Fernando Morientes with the goal. So that would be a good suggestion, I think. Yeah, Ajax. Always a good one. Now, you could go along to Ajax thinking, right, I'm going to try and recreate that total football style. Tiki-taka, lots of short passing. Or you could do what I'm doing here with Real Madrid and be like, nah, we want long ball football, route one stuff, big target man, that kind of thing. Your only worry is big teams. Yes, that is something that where Football Manager is frustratingly realistic, is when you're managing a medium or small size club, not in one of the top 5 leagues, and then, yeah, Chelsea, PSG, Man City, they all come calling and stealing your best players. Have we given away a penalty right at the end of the game? Right, we keep missing penalties. Are we going to see a penalty scored against us now? Yes, we are. Oh, dearie me. This is just, penalties. We are cursed when it comes to penalties in this game, in this particular save. We can't score them. We can concede them, though. Damn it. All right, never mind. Never mind. We'll recover. Okay, so our perfect start to the evening has come to an abrupt end. And that was not good. That puts Real Sociedad second. Like I said, if we'd have won that game, we would have leapfrogged them and shot up the table. So not a good result from us there. Do you have the FM data for that? Let's see. How did I get this database? Asks Sal. So, okay, this is the Mad Scientist FM. You just need to go and follow him. He's here on TikTok. He's the creator of the database. And yeah, if you got the game on Steam, you just go to the Steam Workshop and you can download from there. All right, good stuff. Anyway, welcome to everybody who's just joining us. We are kind of reaching the last couple of games of tonight's stream. So, who do we need to rest? We've got to rest Roberto Carlos. We've already rested him. Salgado, they're both going to get rested for Champions League because they're suspended. So, that'll just have to do, won't it? Yeah, so as you're coming in, do make sure you say hello in the chat. And a like and a share would be very much appreciated. All right, let's just try and click through. So our next game, Villareal. They're 19th in La Liga at the moment. So should be a good chance for us to get back to winning ways here. But all right, let's have a look what we can do. Okay, we'll just skip through those quickly. So Villareal in 2 days. At least the games are coming thick and fast here. Let's see if we can keep that like target going up. We get to 2,500 likes, and we'll get one of our quick football guessing games in. How do you develop players on console FM? I would imagine it's very similar to developing them here on the main game. You've got to obviously give them game time. So whether that's in your own team, kind of giving them chances, substitute appearances, letting them start against weaker teams, giving them those opportunities, or sending them out on loan at a decent level where they're going to get regular game time. But it's only worth sending them out on loan if you're going to, thank you for the like, Ted, if you're going to, if they're going to a team where they're going to get regular football, you don't want to send them somewhere where they're just going to sit on the bench. So yeah, game time, I would say, is always the main thing. Then you've got to make sure in training you've set up your mentoring groups, so get them paired up with an experienced player, someone who plays in a similar position, someone who's got like a professional or model professional personality, someone who's got high determination. Get them paired up with them, so some of their good habits will rub off onto the younger player. And those are the two main things, really: game time and mentoring. And then, of course, you've got to look at your facilities and things like that. But those are all useful ways to develop your players. Right. All good stuff. Right, let's see. We've got a problem here to sort out with Salgado. So he was sent off in the last Champions League game. So he's going to miss the 2 games against Panathinaikos. We'll appeal. We'll see. We'll try our luck and we'll appeal. Thank you for the follow there. Appreciated. The face packs, I got them together with the database. Get Ramos in for a season to help mentor. Yeah, that's a good shout. Get an experienced player in. They can help with the mentoring. So someone who's got the kind of attributes that are going to help that player. Morientes, player of the month. Nice. Nice. Doing a save with Palace. And you're struggling to get Jeremy Pino to the next level. Yeah, so it's Steam Workshop. Steam Workshop or FM Scout. You can try either of those. I don't know about PS. I've played the Xbox version. In past years, the Xbox version was okay. It was like a slightly scaled back version of the main game. But this year, I tried to play the Xbox version, but it was unplayable. It was just an absolute mess. I'm sure it's been patched and improved. But yeah, personally, I would steer clear of the console versions myself. Anyway, PC versions, always far superior. So You're better off with the PC version. Believe me. Right, let's go to the match and see what we can do here. All right. It's Villareal. We need to get back to winning ways here. We need to get back to winning ways. Let's see. Get any score predictions in the chat? What do you think we're going to do here against Villareal? Of course, this was a team who, in real life, would have a couple of big runs. They don't have Riquelme yet. So, you know, that's good news for us. Go out there and get the result. All right. Good. Got faith in everyone. And let's do a quick media. And yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. All right. All done. Here we go then. Very big game coming up against Villareal. We need a big win here. Villareal down in the relegation zone. They have got... They're going to give us a tough game. We shouldn't just look at the table and think they're going to be a pushover. But we need an early goal here. We are Real Madrid, indeed. I think you haven't been listening to anything, Ted. So, yes. Anyway. Let's just win this game as quickly as we can. See what we can do. There's no Mbappe, of course, because we're playing in the year 2000. We're not playing... you know, Mbappe's not going to be around for a while yet. I think at this stage, Mbappe is 2. So that's why he's not playing. All right, good stuff. Time is a funny thing. Right, let's encourage the team. We want to keep everything positive. Make sure everybody doesn't get down in the dumps after that last defeat. Okay. The 2000 version, that is, yeah, as we said before, you just need to, well, you can go and get it from FM Scout. You can get it from Steam. You can just search up the Mad Scientist and you can get it direct from him as well. So you just download the database. If you want to get the face packs, the kits, and all of that good stuff, you would need to follow and subscribe to the Mad Scientist, and then you'll be able to get a hold of all of those extras as well. Okay. You thought Alan Shearer's gone downhill? You think you mean Alan Shearer has got it made? Alan Shearer's got it made out here, living his dream, doing Football Manager content. You might have seen there was a Football Manager video with Alan Shearer in it today. He was matching strikers to their attributes on FM26. He did pretty well. So you should check that out once this live is over, of course. All right. Good stuff. We're going to do one more game after this. So we're going to beat Villareal, I hope. And then we've got one more game in the league against Las Palmas. And then international break is coming. So, oh, there we go. Dion Dublin. That's what we brought you here for. Big soaring headers at the back post. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Look at this. Cross the ball out to McManaman. McManaman, look at that control. And then straight away with the cross. Dion Dublin. Boom. That's how you play football. Beautiful stuff. That's what we love to see. What we love to see here. Let's have a look. Should I just play my high potential players just to max out their potential? You have to be careful as well. There is an element that if you overplay your young players, that they're just going to burn out and they're not going to progress that quickly. So you have to be selective. You're not going to start them every game unless they're really, really good. So you've got to keep rotating them in and out of the team. Sometimes have them start. Sometimes have them come on off the subspence. Sometimes let them play for the under-21s or the reserves. So you've just got to keep that rotation going, I think. You've also got to keep an eye on things like, do you notice if they're injury prone or, anything in their personality that might prevent them from developing well. That's where the mentoring helps. So if you've got somebody with, you can have somebody with like a lazy personality or a particularly aggressive personality, then you want to get them mentored by somebody professional with a professional personality. You might have somebody with low determination, which means that even with all their talent, they're just not going to try that hard, or they're going to give up. Or you might have somebody who just crumbles in big matches. So then again, you've got to get them that mentoring to try and make sure that they kind of get over that and start to learn how to cope with the big matches and things like that. So, yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. You can't just say, right, high potential youngster, stick them in every game and watch them turn into a global megastar. There's a little bit of luck to it as well. You've got to avoid injuries and that kind of stuff. But all right, there we go. Real Madrid 2-0 up against Villareal. There we go. And beautiful. McManaman with 2 assists. We're doing well. We can definitely step it up another gear. That's for sure. Right, Steve McManaman is going to get some special praise along with Dion Dublin. You're playing well. Keep it up. All right, out there for the second half. Beautiful stuff. All right, brilliant. Here we go. Let's see. How many goals can we add in this second half? Let's see if we can get any in. All right, here we go. Ehigou, Batty. They're combining my Route 1 specialists. They're combining well. Steve McManaman. Here we go. Steve McManaman. Absolutely. What a player. And then we're looking for Raul, David Batty, Dion Dublin. There we go. There we go. That goal written all over it. Goal written all over it. Do you read these, says Socrates. Read what, Socrates? Do you mean comments? I'm not sure what you mean. You need tips. Well, that depends. If it's something I'm able to give you advice on, I will. But if not, we can always ask the chat. The chat will sometimes have better tips than I do. All right, let's have a look. Get it out here. Let's get goal number 4 here. You've lost almost all your games. Right, we need some more detail here, Socrates. So, who are you playing as? And, you know, obviously if you're Burnley and you're losing all your games, that's very different to if you're Manchester City and losing all your games. So Stuttgart, okay. So are you losing to everyone, like teams that, obviously the top teams, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, but are you also losing to the teams that are kind of relegation battlers in the league? And are you losing and playing badly, or are you playing well and losing by a goal or 2? That would be an important bit of information to glean off you. All right, as we get another goal from Raul, and it's future Middlesbrough manager Karanka, who set that play up. Savio, who set the goal up. Ah, beautiful stuff. Things you love to see. All right, you can beat Bayern Munich and Leverkusen, but everyone else I just draw or lose. That suggests that you might have players, as we were talking about personality traits before, you might have players in your team who are up for big matches, who have that hidden personality trait that they love big matches, so they really turn up for those games against the big teams. But then maybe they just, if they haven't got the kind of model citizen or professional personalities, maybe they just can't be bothered against the smaller teams. So I would look at your player personalities and look at their mental attributes, look at things like concentration, determination. It might be that they've got high determination, so they want to beat those big teams, but low concentration, so they're just not putting the shift in against the smaller teams. And then you might want to look at bringing in a couple of players that are model professional, model citizen type personalities as well. All right, let's have a look. So you've got some players who are always injured. Then you might want to look at your training too, maybe reducing the intensity of your training to reduce those injuries. Make sure that you've got your full complement of physio, head physio, club doctor, sports scientist, all those people in there to manage that side of the squad for you. And make sure, you know, you're checking your players' conditions. So, like, we've dropped Roberto Carlos for a couple of games here because he's not fit, and we don't want to risk losing him to a long-term injury. So, when we're playing a team like Villareal, who are down at the bottom of the league, we'll drop our star player so he can have a rest and stay fresh for those big Champions League games and things like that. Okay. Okay. So you're planning to bring in new defenders. Okay, sounds like you're on the right track as Dion Dublin returns the favour for Steve McManaman. And we are steamrolling Villareal here. Absolutely beautiful stuff. All right, this is all good. This is what we wanted to see from our team. Forget the Real Sociedad game. That was just a blip. But here we go. Beautiful, beautiful play. Things we love to see. All right, good. So you're playing Hamburg. You'll tell us the result afterwards. All right, we'll have a look. Thank you for the follow. What FM is this? This is FM26. Okay. Oh, Rob, that's the second time you've asked this question. Should I listen to advice? It's a bit of a self-explanatory question, I would say. Anyway, we can't keep a clean sheet, though. We can't keep a clean sheet this evening, can we? That's a bit weird. Yeah, we definitely still need to do some work on the defence. We're not very solid at the back. We concede pretty much every game, but we're winning by big margins. So, nice work, everyone. Let's click through to the final game of the season. It says I should never press. Should I do it? We need a new right back, indeed. I think that depends on your assistant manager. If that's the assistant manager advice, then we need to have a look at your assistant manager's stats. I would often take the assistant manager advice with a pinch of salt. All right, so we've got a request for the table. Let's just bring that into a bit more view there. So we are currently 5th in the table after that win. There's a little bit of a gap to 4th. Racing Santander, Real Oviedo, Real Sociedad, Barcelona all above us. So 2 of the 3 teams above us have beaten us this season. So far, we've drawn with Real Oviedo, and we have managed to beat Racing Santander. So it's a bit of a strange season, this one. We're going to have to keep the pressure up and just keep winning those games so we don't end up falling behind Barcelona too much. All right, let's see. One more game, as we said, we're going to do against Las Palmas. How many seasons in? Well, this is the first season. So we're just in October of season 1. And this is the 2000-2001 database, as you can see right here. So we're playing a retro database. Barcelona, indeed, doing pretty well. You're going to play Moneyball. All right. Nice. Are you going to play like Moneyball, as in the baseball Moneyball, or the kind of generic Moneyball that people talk about in football manager terms, where they just mean I'm going to buy cheap and sell high? All right, let's have a look. What's my recruitment philosophy? Buy British, buy players that do not fit the Galactico mold. It's an anti-Galactico save. So that's why we've got Dion Dublin, David Batty, and Ehigou. That we're looking for those guys to add a bit of bite, add a bit of a kind of classic British football to our Real Madrid Galacticos lineup. Okay, 1-0 up from an Undav goal in the 3rd minute. Fantastic. Ramos is in, and now you're going to make him a mentor. Nice. So you're straight into your Ajax save. Love it. All right, good. All right, well, you'll have to return and let us know how you get on across the season with them. Marseille just ruined your night. Needed them and Sporting for £350. All right, are you talking about some kind of accumulator there? All right. I'm not a fan, never get involved in sports gambling myself, but, each to their own. If you enjoy it, if that adds to your enjoyment of the game, of course, go for it. Right, let's have a look. Bring on Roberto Carlos and Salgado. Get them back in the team. I'm going to give Julio Cesar a run out, seeing as we talked about giving youngsters a bit of game time. Or should I give Ivan Campo, future Bolton legend? Let's get him in instead. Right, I'm going to go for Makaleli in the middle. Figo staying on the bench. Everything else, beautiful. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can finish with a win. All right, so... how is Messi and CR7? Are they expensive? So you mean in this 2000-2001 database? I believe I have to have a look. I think I'm using the regen mod. They will appear in the game in future seasons, but they're not in the game yet. So we'll have to keep an eye out for them. I think Ronaldo would appear in like 2002. And Messi would appear like 2003, 2004, something like that. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, we've been playing well. Credit to the players. Giving everyone a real lift, and off we go. City already want half of your team. Typical City. And then they will buy your team and not play them. Did I just see Vinny Samways in the Las Palmas team? I think I did, you know. Now there's a throwback player. There's a proper player. Vinny Samways, former Tottenham Hotspur and Wimbledon legend. Vinny Samways. Okay, thank you for the follow there. Much appreciated. Okay, you drew against Hamburg. All right, that's a decent result, I think. Decent result. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes and for sharing the live. Bit of a smaller stadium, this one, isn't it? Bit of a different vibe for La Liga. But yeah, that is Vinny Samways. Let's have a look. Look at that. Vinny Samways, 31 years old. What an absolute throwback name that is. What a legend. Like if you remember Vinny Samways. All right. That one takes me back. Okay, here we go. David Batty. Makalele. Nice one. Let's have a look. Batty plays it out to Savio. Get a big punt up to Dion Dublin. Come on. Come on. You know what you need to do. Dion Dublin's made his run. Oh, he was muscled out of it by the defence. But Makalele, oof. That's pretty good. Europa League second leg against Aston Villa. It's 1-1 aggregate. All right. Good stuff. All right. So I assume you're... What round are you in then? Europa League second leg. What round are you in? And I assume then you're playing with no away goals and things like that. So could be going to penalties. We always love a penalty shootout. All right, here we go. Ehigou, Batty. Love to see those two combining. Batty playing it back to Casillas. Come on. Where's the long ball, guys? Come on. I did have to cut back on the long balls a bit because we were just giving away possession far too often. Oh, there we go. Raul finally passes to Dion Dublin. And they combine. We get the goal. Raul, he's had a lot of games where he's just done the solo run and he's ignored Dion. But this time he was like, I'll tell you what, big man, there you go. Have some of that on a platter. Dion Dublin says thank you very much. Beautiful. That's what we love to see. All right. Good stuff. Good. All right. Looks like we're going to finish here. Quarter-final, says Socrates. All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully you make it to the semis. What do we got here? Individual training. Yes, I would do individual training. If you've got a good assistant manager who you trust, you can follow their advice. But you can also follow your own instincts as well. So you might want to look at sometimes training to a new position. That can help develop versatility. Oh, here we go. Dion Dublin looking for another goal. Nearly did it. You might want to look at individual training to develop some skills. Some of those like special moves. So if you've got someone with good long shots and good strength, you might want to go for hits free kicks with power or shoots from distance. You can train those kind of things. If you've got somebody who you want to develop their pace and acceleration, you can put them on extra training for that. So yeah, it's worth doing the individual training as well. Ollie Watkins, 34 goals in 24 games. That's mad. That's mental. But he is one of the top Premier League strikers on the game. He's got some of the best attributes. If you go and check the Football Manager TikTok page, you'll see the video they did with Alan Shearer earlier. Ollie Watkins is mentioned. All right, we've conceded here against Las Palmas. Not what we wanted. Although it is nice in October to get the chance to go out to Las Palmas. Get a bit of extra summer. 4 goals in his last game. You're scared, yes. You do end up with those OP players in Football Manager, don't you? When I did on FM24, did my FC Vaduz save, and when we were trying to get it further in Europe, anytime we came up against Man City, Haaland would just destroy us single-handedly. It would be like Man City score 4 goals, Haaland scores 4 goals. Yeah, it's just crazy. Gave me nightmares. All right, we can still win this. Keep working hard. You've got the ability. Come on. You've got the ability. Attackers are playing well. You've made a difference. Good. Let's keep it going. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Final half of football for this evening. I'm going to end the stream after this one. Thank you to everyone who's been in tonight. It's much appreciated. Thank you for the follows, the new followers, and for all the comments, and for all the likes and shares. All much appreciated. We're going to be live. We're aiming for every Wednesday and Sunday. We might every so often throw in a cheeky little Friday stream when we get the chance. But you can catch up with highlights here on TikTok, so make sure you follow for those, and then you'll get notified of when the next live is. To David Batty. David Batty with the goal. A rare goal from David Batty. So brilliant. Why are my players so bad at pens, asks Socrates. You are asking the wrong person, Socrates. So far, I'm in October of the season. We've played, 10 games so far, something like that. And we've had 4 penalties, and we've missed all of them. Figo's missed 2, and Hierro's missed 2. It's just, you're asking the wrong person, I'm afraid. Morgan Rogers scored against you. All right. Well, hopefully you can make a comeback. Right, we will get the shout out there. Praise the team. Let's have a look at our tactics. Who do we bring on here? I think Campo, looking nervous, on a yellow. Definitely time for him to come off. Aguero can come on in his place. Then I guess we're going to go for... Let's see. We give Guti some game time. We get Conceição on for Makalele. All right, there we go. Team talk. Go out there and make it happen. All right. Good stuff. We killed the highlight. Things you love to see. All right, good stuff. We're up to 2.5k likes. So we're going to finish off the stream with one little quiz. So just for those of you who weren't in here earlier, I have got here one of those cards that you get with your orders from Classic Football Shirts. I might have just given something away there, but hopefully not. And you need to guess what player it is. David Batty scored twice. Crazy. How did that happen? David Batty doesn't score goals. That's not what we didn't sign him to be some marauding attacking midfielder. But anyway, I've got a card here. You need to guess which player card I've got from Classic Football Shirts. Asking yes or no questions in the chat. So you can ask me nationality, you can ask me teams, you can ask me positions, those kind of things. See if you can guess who I've got on this card. You've got the next 5 minutes to do it. But all right, let's go for that and see what we've got here. We're going to close this out with a win, surely, as long as we don't concede here, and then we're going to have a bit of squeaky bum time. Right, let's see. We've given away a penalty. David Batty scored 2. He scored 2, and now he's given away a penalty. He's got a yellow as well. That's more like the David Batty we know and love, getting yellow cards. And of course we concede the penalty because, we can't score them, but we can concede them. Bloody typical. Bloody typical, I tell ya. Anyway, let's hope we can hold on here. Let's drop things back, a little bit more cautious for the rest of the game. We're going to praise the team. Let's see this out. Can we get the win? Finish the stream with a victory. Yes, we can. There you go. We've got it. All right, we've beaten Las Palmas 3-2. Good win for us. I mean, I would have preferred if it was a bit more comprehensive than that, but all right. That fantastic form from the start of the stream carried us through. All right, so there we go. So I'm just going to bring up the table before we finish, just so you guys can get a quick look at that, and then we'll wrap things up. So remember, do follow. Go and check my bulletin board so you can see when we're next live. So that's a look at the table as things stand. So we are 5th so far. We're 5 points behind leaders Barcelona. We've got Real Sociedad, Real Oviedo, and Racing Santander ahead of us. If we take a look at our fixture schedule, I'm just going to recenter this so you can see everything. This is what we've got coming up. So as we said, we've got an international break coming up, so we're going to stop there. We are going to come back for our next stream, which is probably going to be Wednesday. We're going to come back and we're going to do these back-to-back Champions League games against Panathinaikos. And then we're going to try and get through as much as November as we can. I'm hoping in the next stream we can finish the first phase group stage of the Champions League, finishing with that game against Leverkusen. We've got another big game against Barcelona coming up. Doubt we'll get to that next stream, but we'll try. We've got back-to-back games against Barcelona coming up because we got them in the Spanish Super Cup as well. So we've got some big, big games coming up. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Whether you were watching us live or on replay, it's much appreciated. And thank you for all the lovely comments. I'm DG. We've been playing Anti-Galactico football with Real Madrid. I will see you for the next live in a few days. Make sure you follow, subscribe, get on the bulletin board to find out when all of that's happening. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good night. All right. Beautiful stuff. And I should not forget that I'm still recording for YouTube at this point. But thank you to you guys as well. Hope you're enjoying the series. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.